right, this is lesson 9B, adding subtopics. So we're still working in lesson 9. We're still in lesson 9, creating subtopics, but right now we're working on the second learning sheet, which looks something like this. If you have it on paper, it looks similar. The box might be a little different. Okay, so let's take a look at this new learning sheet. Let's read the instructions together. You'll notice that there are 4 sets of instructions. Number 1, below is a brainstorm list for a theme on land vehicles. Find the subtopics and circle or highlight them in yellow. Number 2, make your own code for the subtopics and write the code on the line next to the subtopic. Next, put a code letter next to each detail that is related to the subtopic. Be careful, some of the details are not related to the listed subtopic. Number 3, arrange the theme topic, subtopics, and details in the tower diagram below. Number 4, add details until you have 4 for each subtopic. This step is really important. Some of you skipped it on the last lesson. Make sure you are adding in 4 details. Okay, so finding the subtopic. This means that you are to look for the one subtopic in the list first. What questions should you ask yourself as you look for a subtopic about this topic, land vehicles? Okay. So we could ask ourselves a question like, is this an example of a land vehicle or is it a group of land vehicles? Since you already know how to ask this question and find subtopics, let's go through and try this one. So we have ambulance. Is that an example of a land vehicle or is it a group? That's an example. Same with station wagon, 4-door sedan, but now we've come to recreational vehicles. Is that an example of a land vehicle or is it a group? Recreational vehicles is a group, so that is one of our subtopics. So let's make a code for this subtopic now. Let's just go with the first letter of the first word and let's make it R. Okay, so let's put this code letter next to recreational vehicles. So I'm going to put an R right there. A little bigger, there we go. Okay. That's going to bug me, it's going to fit in one box. Okay. All right, so what do you suggest for ambulance? Is it a recreational vehicle? No, not really. So let's not put a code letter next to this one because it doesn't fit into our subtopic group. Well, station wagon. That's not really for fun either, but a motorcycle and a camper could both work as a recreational vehicle. So we're going to put R's there. Okay, so you can see that we have some items to which we assign the code letter because they relate to the subtopic we've circled, recreational vehicles. We also have some items that don't have code letters assigned to them. These are the items for which we need to come up with some new subtopic names. Watch and listen to me as I think of a new subtopic related to these other details, and then it'll be your turn on the next lesson. So I see here that one of the items that doesn't have a code assigned is ambulance. If it's not a recreational vehicle, what is it? Well, I would think of an ambulance as a type of emergency vehicle, so I could call it in a subtopic group called emergency vehicles. Are there any other items on the list that can be called an emergency vehicle? Yes, we could use a fire engine as another type of emergency vehicle. So I think this will work as a subtopic for a theme of land vehicles. So my new subtopic over here, I'm going to write emergency vehicles. Okay. All right, and then my code for that, I'm going to make it E. Okay. So then I'm going to go through an ambulance. I would give an E, and a fire engine. I would give an E for emergency vehicles. I need at least one more topic. So we've got station wagon and 4-door sedan. I think of those as both vehicles you could use for families. So I would write family vehicle for my next subtopic, and the code would be F. That means I'm going to put F's here. Okay, so now that I've labeled all of this, I need to fill out my tower diagram. So my topic I know is land vehicles. I have my 3 subtopics. I have recreational vehicles. I have emergency vehicles. And I have family vehicles. And remember, emergency and family vehicles I got from this box. I wrote those myself. And recreational vehicles was over here. That was the one subtopic that was in my list. Okay. Then I need to go through and I need to add in my details. So for ambulance, that's got an E. That's going to go in this box. Station wagon has an F. That's going to go over here. Four-door sedan is also going to go over here in family vehicles. Recreational vehicles was my subtopic, so that doesn't need to go in my details box. But then I have motorcycle and camper, which are both under recreational vehicles. And then I have fire engine. Okay, I've taken all my details that have been given to me, and they're in my tower diagram. But I don't have 4 details in each box. So this is where I need to do those adding details step. I need to go in and add more details. So when I'm thinking of emergency vehicles, I have ambulance, I have fire engine, I would say police car could be an emergency vehicle, and I could also add in what are the helicopters, like this isn't the right word, but a hospital helicopter, like an ambulance when people live out in the middle of nowhere. Some more family vehicles, I would add a minivan. So I got station wagon, 4-door sedan, minivan, and maybe I would add a, what else could I add for family vehicle? Anything that has room for a lot of kids. So maybe I can't think of the word for it right now. It's okay, I'll come back to that one. And then recreational vehicles, I got motorcycle, I have camper, maybe I would put a bicycle, and maybe I will add a dirt bike. And then I'm going to pretend I filled out my family vehicles one. So this is how you're going to do lesson 9 part 2. Your topic is school subjects. So you're filling out all of those in the same steps. So always let me know if you have any questions.